Hello, 7th grade. We're going to talk about active and passive voice a little bit. The first 3 questions I'm not going to answer on your study guide just because you can look them up on your notes. I'm not tricky. What are the definitions? What is voice? What is active voice? What's passive voice? You really just need to know the difference between them and be able to pick them out in a quiz. Alright, so the first section, 4 through 12, all you had to do was tell me if the verb was active or passive. Normally I would have you underline and such the verb first, but since this is all online, it'll be a lot easier if you just tell me if it's active or passive. So you need to be able to find the verb first. Maybe next year when we're back in person, it'll be much more interactive. But find the verb and then tell me if it's active or passive. Active is when the subject is performing the action, and passive is when the subject is not performing the action in the sentence. So number 4, the dog slept peacefully on the couch. Our action is slept, so then we have to decide who's doing that action in the sentence. Here we can see the dog is the one sleeping and the dog is the subject. So this is an active voice sentence. Number 5, the horse munched on the apple. Munched is our action. The horse is doing the action, and it's the subject, so we know this is also active. All right, number 6, there are 2 clues to a sentence being in passive voice. The first is the verb was. If was is put in front of an action verb, then 95% of the time that sentence is going to be passive. Okay, the second clue is the phrase by and then somebody. So here it's by Grace. So this, we know Grace is doing whatever action is happening here. The cake was put in the oven by Grace. Okay, was put, there's our first clue, by Grace. So we know Grace is the one putting the cake in the oven. The cake can't put itself in the oven. Okay, the cake is the subject of the sentence. So this is a passive voice verb. Okay, this verb phrase is passive because the cake can't do the action. Grace is the one doing the action, and she's way down here at the end of the sentence. She's actually a prepositional phrase. Okay, the prepositional phrase by Grace, by the dog, by Miss Bischoff, that is a big clue that this is a passive voice sentence, and it's a prepositional phrase. Okay, number 7. Madeline took the cake out of the oven and frosted it. So took is our action. Madeline's the one taking the cake out and frosting it, so took and frosted would actually both be our active voice verbs there. So it's an active voice sentence. Number 8, an email was sent to parents about the balloon passing. Okay, the first clue was sent. We don't see who's doing the action, but we know the email can't send itself. Boy, would that be scary if emails were sending themselves. Some robot takeover amongst the Corona-19 business. Whew. Just another, Corona bingo knockoff there. All right, so an email was sent to parents about the balloon passing. The email can't send itself. We don't know who's doing the action, but it's not the email, so this is a passive voice sentence. Number 9, Miss Bischoff plans to eat sushi for her birthday at the end of May. I 100%, as long as everything's open, I am going to get me some sushi because I am craving it bad. So, plans is our action. I'm the one doing the planning to go do something for my birthday, so this is an active voice sentence. Number 10, whipped coffee was made by me. We see our 2 clues that it's a passive voice sentence, was in front of an action, and the phrase by me, the prepositional phrase. Okay, so was made. The coffee can't make itself. Again, that would be freaky. So this is a passive voice sentence. 11, I went mushroom hunting with my dad. Went is our action. I'm the one that's doing something with my dad. So here, this is an active voice sentence. 12, I play Scrabble on my phone way too much. Fact, I do. Play is our action. I'm the one doing the playing of Scrabble on my phone far too much. So this, again, is an active voice sentence. All right, and then the next section, you had to change sentences from active to passive voice. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is figure out who's doing the action. So I listen to a variety of music every day. I'm the one doing the action. When you rewrite these sentences, they don't have to include every single word that's in the first sentence. That would be really hard and unfair of me to ask you to do that, in my personal opinion. And plus the sentences would all become boring. So there could be a variety of answers here. So answers can be slightly different, and it's fine. These are something that I will be grading and making sure you're doing right. Okay, so an option I came up with, you could say a variety of music is listened to. Okay, the music can't do the listening, so we know that this is a passive voice sentence. Now, we don't know who's doing the listening in this sentence. We could say a variety of music is listened to by me, but you don't have to. You don't always have to tell who's doing an action in a sentence. Okay, that's where the variety of different answers could come into play. Number 14, we planted tomatoes in our garden. So I came up with tomatoes were planted in our garden. Again, I didn't say who did it, but you can. We could also say tomatoes were planted in our garden by us, or tomatoes were planted in our garden by Susan. It doesn't have to match. Again, I left out we. It could change. I left out every day in the first one. It doesn't have to be there. 15, Rachel bought a hummingbird feeder. A hummingbird feeder was bought by Rachel. See, here I just added by and I left everything in there. It's totally up to you. As long as you're changing it from active to passive, I don't care. And it has to be pretty similar. I mean, you can add words and take them away, but the sentence still needs to be structurally, the same ideas. All right, and the next section, you had to change the sentences from passive to active. So the first one, the bagels were made by Dan. Okay, this sentence tells us who's doing the action, so yes, I will be picky. You can't change the name. Okay, the bagels were made by Dan. This is pretty straightforward. Dan made bagels. You didn't have to say Dan made the bagels, or you could if you wanted to. Dan made bagels for his mom. I mean, you can add more, you can embellish the sentences, but I'm not looking for that. You can just put straight up, Dan made bagels. 17, the fire pit was started by Nick. Okay, Nick started the fire pit. Nick started the fire pit last night. There are options, but we know who's doing the action, so Nick needs to be the subject. All right, 18, dark chocolate was given to Rachel. This one seems to always trick people sometimes because I'm saying who it was given to. Okay, it was given to Rachel. She's not the one doing the action, though. I know she's the person in the sentence, but we don't know who's giving the chocolate to Rachel, but it's definitely not Rachel. Rachel's not doing the action here. So here, I made it up. I gave Rachel dark chocolate. Or you could say Bob gave Rachel dark chocolate. Or my mom gave Rachel dark chocolate. Anybody but Rachel. Well, I guess you could say Rachel gave herself dark chocolate, but it would be more like Rachel bought herself dark chocolate. So, sentences, there's going to be a variety of answers. There's no clear-cut one correct answer. Almost never. So if you have questions, please message me. I hope this video helped clear things up if you were struggling. Hope you're all doing well. We've got this week and next week. We're so close to the end. We've got this, guys. We're so close. Can't wait to see you all as 8th graders next year. I really hope that we get to start the year together. I'm looking forward to it. If you need me, just message me. Enjoy the rest of your day.